No matter if you want to get physically strong or mentally strong, it helps you either way. You can do it anywhere, anytime. It benefits your heart vascular system, strengthen your bones, prevents osteoporosis. There's a lot of benefits. So you don't have to jump consistently. So there's a lot of options what you can do to motivate people through a rope. So the rope is the connection, basically.
I would have never seen myself being able to combine the both of them. And I'm just mind blown every day. It's a dream, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I stuck with it. There's a moment where I was I don't know if I want to do this Army thing anymore. I'm giving all my CrossFit up,
Right.
but I did it.
Mira, Ava, welcome to the Jedburgh podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
us.
Well, we're going to talk about jump rope. Jumping rope?
Jumping rope.
Yeah, Jessie corrected me earlier.
Wait, I hear a lot of people say jump roping. Is that correct terminology, or do we go with jumping rope?
I feel like you can say either. I would just say, if I told someone I did jump rope, I just say I did jump rope. Not I'm jumping rope. I don't know.
Whatever we're going to call it, we have to explore this because I suck at jumping rope. Jump rope, whatever. Okay, and we were talking about this earlier. So Mira came over. She announced herself yesterday as being at the games as a national champion from Germany.
Exactly.
In jump rope. And I immediately said, well, I need some instruction. Okay? And I am stuck at the double under. I'm often stuck at the single under. All right? And it's something that I have tried so hard over the years to figure out. It has become a part of a lot of CrossFit workouts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I said, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get in here and let's talk about it. So, where are we going to start? Mira, let's talk for a second about coming to the U.S. from Germany, your background, and how do you get into jumping rope?
Yeah, so basically how I got into it, in Germany we have jump rope clubs actually, and I started when I was 7 years old. My friend basically dragged me to a jump rope session and I liked it, and I luckily was successful and I stick to it, and now we're here.
Yeah, I mean, jump rope is standard cardio. Lots of people do jump rope on a very basic level, but you guys take it to a crazy different extreme of tricks, which to me is fascinating. The way, the coordination and style and almost acrobaticness that you bring to jump rope is so much fun. Do you still use it as a cardio exercise as well, or more of a skills training?
I feel like when my coach, since I am in the CrossFit space, he'll program it for me as a skill to practice rather than cardio. But when I do have it in workouts, it easily can be a cardio piece because it just spikes it.
Oh yeah.
So
Nice. And
I feel like both. It's a skill, but it'll turn into cardio.
And Ava, what's your story of getting into jump rope?
My elementary school had a jump rope for heart clinic, and the people running it ran the jump rope team in my town, and they're like, okay, you're catching on pretty fast, do you want to try out? And then I went and I tried out and then stuck with it for a couple years, and then that's when I kind of found CrossFit.
How do jump rope competitions work?
Yeah.
Well, there's the ones that I went to, there was speed singles, and they count every time your right foot hits. And then there's a double under, so it's a minute or 30 seconds max, as fast as you can with the wire rope. There's double Dutch events. There's freestyle events, just you. There's partner freestyle. There's a million different things.
Nice. Which was your specialty?
I liked freestyle, just alone.
Uh-huh.
But you can do pairs freestyle, and you just do the same thing as your partner.
Yeah.
What's
Just
freestyle
synchro.
though?
The tricks with
Okay.
the beaded rope.
we're going to put you to the test
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
And Ava, Mira, what's your specialty?
Yeah, I think I love the variety about it. So as
The
she
what
just
about it?
mentioned, the variety. So
the
the
var-
differences, the differences basically. So I love the double dutch with the two ropes, actually just turning against each other in a team. So to show, what you can do in a team, how good you are. But I also love the single events like freestyle, as she mentioned. So you get judged with different levels for different skills. So if you cross in your legs, if you do it in a double, triple, quadruple, however, backward, forward, you get different levels and creativity on top. So that makes everything like to a very special, performance basically, and also for spectators, exciting to watch.
Yeah. What do you love so much about jump rope?
I think really it's the differences. It's benefit for everybody. That's what I actually experienced through Corona to COVID times, that no matter if you want to get physically strong or mentally strong, it helps you either way. You can do it anywhere, anytime. It benefits your heart vascular system, strengthen your bones, prevents osteoporosis. There's a lot of benefits, and that's why I'm convinced it's, to me, the best sport in the world.
Ava, you've been around CrossFit for a bit, so you're on the Warrior Fitness team with the
Yes.
Army. We're sitting here. We have an awesome backdrop for this conversation that I wanted, because it says push beyond your limits, right?
Yep.
And as I told you, I have found my limit with jump rope. As you've been in CrossFit over the last couple of years, you said you found CrossFit through jump rope. How?
Yeah, so pretty much I was on the jump rope team, and I wanted to be strong for that, just like tumbling movements. And I kind of transitioned into CrossFit, getting that strength for it, and then I fully transitioned over to it because I was like, I just want to give this a go. And it was a lot, just like doing jump rope for like a couple hours after school, then trying to do the gym. So I was like, I'm just gonna fully commit to CrossFit, see where this takes me.
Let's talk about the games. We're obviously here at the CrossFit Games. So, Mira, what brings you to the CrossFit Games?
Actually, the crazy mentality about the athletes. I'm so overwhelmed from all the athletes, what I've been seeing online last year, and I thought, wow, this is insane. And basically the double under crossovers from last year, when I thought, wow, I think there's a lot athletes can improve and maybe I can help. So basically just to connect with very nice and cool people, and to help with my expertise of 20 years. Let's see if this is going to happen this time. And
You were talking earlier, before we started, both of you were talking about how it has been introduced into the competition. How has it been introduced into the competition, and where are we seeing it, and where it's being judged and applied?
I feel like with CrossFit, they always introduce a new movement at the games. And last year it was the double crossover, right? And a lot of athletes, like prior to that, it was mostly just double unders. Like people would mess around with triple unders, but nothing like crossovers. And it totally threw a bunch of athletes off guard. They didn't have the correct ropes with them. They had no idea what to do. So I feel like a lot of them have been focusing on that, but I don't know if I can see them like making it more challenging. Like I don't think they'll do backwards ones. They could do like backwards singles, but I don't really see it progressing from the double cross.
What happens if they can't do it?
You just don't get the rep. You're stumped.
So it's a zero.
Yeah, I know a lot of great athletes in quarterfinals that there was just the single crosses, not double, and they were great athletes, but that one workout stumped them. Like they could not get it, and a lot of them cost them like a semifinal spot. So, yeah,
That could be devastating.
yeah.
So hold on, a double crossover. I feel like I know what a crossover is.
Yep, so it's like one, you jump, the rope goes, so a double under is just 2 times under your feet with one jump. And then a double crosses, it goes under and then crosses in one jump. So it's a double under but with a cross, but one of them is a cross.
Okay.
then consecutive ones, obviously. So
Yeah,
open
yeah.
cross, open cross, open cross, open cross.
So as I go up into the air, is it going straight
One,
and then
two.
cross,
And then you finish on the
land,
ground.
straight,
Yep.
cross? Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to try that.
I definitely
Yeah.
think a lot of people overthink it too.
Yeah.
So you just gotta go for it, really.
Right.
It's a double under.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
can do double unders. It's just a little cross.
Just the timing, yeah.
Skill.
Mira, one of the things you're doing with jump rope is bringing it into the corporate space too. And we were talking yesterday about different corporate events that
Exactly.
you're hosting. Talk a bit about that and why is it being thought of in the corporate space, and what are you doing for companies and organizations that want to bring you in?
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I do also show performances, so I actually present the sport of jump rope at different companies. Like, I don't know, I'm allowed to share names of companies?
Yeah, share whatever you want.
Okay. So, for example, I've been doing a team building for Nike, or was working with Fila, or Mary Kay. So many different kind of companies, and I think it's very beneficial to give an option for team building, because you can achieve things alone, but you can also go in partners and then in a big group. But for the show performance, also to see what's actually all possible with the jump rope, and that's what's actually very interesting for the people or for the companies to see.
So cool.
Wow. And is this like a day, like half a day? Like how long is the course? How long is the course in the
Yeah,
program?
it depends. I mean, when it's a company, so obviously let's say they're normal people, right? They're mostly not athletes. They're just people. They have to go there, or they,
Yeah.
there's like, okay, I need to go here because my company brings me here.
Yeah.
But when they're there, it's very beneficial, and it depends on the company. But sometimes I only go 20 minutes. Most of the time, 1 to 2 hours. And I mean, you can split it up, right? You can make, you can even with the rope, can be creative. You can put names on the ground with your rope, make that a challenge. So you don't have to jump consistently. So there's a lot of options what you can do to motivate people through a rope. So the rope is the connection, basically.
You know, you do CrossFit for 2 or 3 months, you might not see the numbers change on the scale, you might not feel like, but if you can show people with data, like you're actually improving, you just hit a PR, you're getting better.
Gym owners were able to just basically click a button and get all the resources and tools that we were using for our gyms at a fraction of what it would cost them.
Like if gyms provide a better product on the floor by having better coaches, their business is going to be healthier. They're gonna have better retention and have all those other features, and coaching is a skill that needs to be developed. We are, I would argue, the most product-focused company in our space, and the way we create value is by we build products. In 2012, we told gyms to put TVs on their walls, and we got laughed at. And go in any CrossFit gym in the world now, and you're probably going to see a TV on the wall. But we're just constantly pushing the envelope with innovation.
What have you seen in international competition?
Sorry?
What have you seen in international competition
For jump rope?
for jump rope?
Yeah, I mean, it's growing, so that's pretty cool. And it's interesting to see how fast it's growing and the success level, how high it is. And I mean, you can see definitely quadruples and quints as well. So, and not only jumping high once and rotate the rope under your feet 5 times without stopping, you can also see it with under your leg, inside your, behind your back crossing. So it's very intense, and that's freestyle, what we talked about at the beginning. And every
And
skill has a
flips.
different level, flips, that's for sure. It's very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see a little bit more in practice with you guys.
Oh,
You
yeah,
won't
we're-
see me doing any
we're gonna-
flips.
Maybe we can do something together though.
We're going to give it a
Yeah.
go. Ava, let's talk about the Warrior Fitness team for a second.
Yeah.
All right. So you were involved with jump rope early on.
Yep.
As a kid growing up. Why come into the Army?
I joined the Army when I was 17. I was in high school. I mainly joined because I wanted my college, just help with college. And then I did CrossFit. I started when I was 15. So I did that, and then it almost motivated me to pick the job that I picked.
Which is
11 Bravo.
yes,
So
infantry.
yeah, super fun. I pretty much said to my recruiter, I'm like, I want a tough job, and then he was like, okay, 11 Bravo, and then I go and I'm like, okay, maybe this wasn't as tough as I thought.
Oh no.
But it was fun for sure. And then I went away for training, and then I came back. And prior to leaving, I'm like, my CrossFit is over. Like, I'm gonna go to training. I'm gonna get less fit because I'm not doing CrossFit for X amount of months. My CrossFit dreams are coming to just ending. And then I came back home, and I actually did better than the prior year in quarterfinals before leaving. And I was like, okay, it's back. Like, I can do this.
How?
And then
how did you improve?
I
if
had
you weren't?
zero idea. All my lifts went down like 40%. Like, it was bad. I remember getting back. I was heavier than when I left, probably like 15 pounds heavier. Was not as strong. It was just bad. I was like, there's no way I'm bouncing back from this. And then I did better, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And then I tried out for the team, I think like 2 months after getting home from like training, and I didn't do that great. But then I did a competition, I want to say 7 months later, and I made a huge drastic change, better than I was before I even left. And Sydney was at the competition that I did, and I think that's when she was like, okay, I think I want her to do Wadapalooza with me and Emma, and that's pretty much how I got on the team, I believe. They were like, you want to do Wadapalooza with us? I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
That's where we first met you.
Yes, and then that's where I met you guys last year at Wadapalooza, and that was my first thing I did with the team. So
We knew you were the new one.
Yep.
if you go back and watch the little piece we did, we're like,
Yep.
oh, that's the new one.
I was definitely new. All of them looked at me like, just be normal, please.
Oh. But so that was the first time you got to combine your CrossFit with your Army stuff.
And I looking back, I'm like, I would have never seen myself being able to combine the both of them, and I'm just like mind blown every day. Like, it's a dream, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I stuck with it. There's a moment where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this Army thing anymore. Like, I'm giving all my CrossFit up,
Right.
but I did it, and now I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
So.
And I love that when you were feeling out of shape, you still threw yourself into the mix of competition.
Yeah, I was like, well, we'll see where I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm as fit as I am right now. I might as well test it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Why do you think it's important to enter yourself into challenges that may seem too big or you feel unprepared?
I feel like I like to be super real with myself. And in order to, like, we can tell ourselves that we're good or we can tell ourselves that we're bad, but it's like, it validates where you are at instead of like being in your head like, oh, I'm good, but you don't actually know if you're good or bad unless if you pin yourself up against some competition. So I just like to test where I'm at and see where I need to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you pleasantly surprise yourself.
I for sure did.
And build confidence.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
So, at that moment, I was like, yep. So, yeah.
And that opened opportunities for your dream job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So cool.
For sure. Yep.
What's next for you in terms of competition?
I have Iron Games coming up in about 3 weeks. It's in Cedar City, Utah.
What is Iron Games?
I know it's obviously like a CrossFit competition, but I'm not exactly sure who runs it. A lot of people at the gym that I go to it every year since I recently moved to Vegas to train with Underdogs Athletics. They all do it, and they're like, yep, you should do it. This can be your off-season comp to see where you're at, because the last comp that I did was quarterfinals to kind of see with the season, and that's where it ended. So
wait, how does it work being on the Warrior Fit team? What are your Army responsibilities, and so are you training CrossFit full time? Is that?
Yeah, so I'm National Guard, so I pretty much live wherever I want to live, wherever my unit is. And they will TDY me to
What's
events.
Just what does it mean?
Temporary duty.
Temporary duty.
Yeah. I forget the
Something.
why.
I don't know the why.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
probably
temporary
really
duty,
bad.
I think that's the end of duty. I don't know. I totally forget. But it's when it's when you send somebody somewhere for a short amount of time.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Army team, I'm an at-large athlete. So that means that I'm not at Fort Knox on the team, but I'm a part of the team, like support role, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So they'll, like here, they're like, we're gonna send you to the games to support us through the team. So they TDY me here as help and being on the team. And then like if I do a competition, I'll be like, I wanna go to this competition, and they'll be like, okay, we'll send you there. You represent the Army team. Just like Wadapalooza, they sent all 3 of us there to represent the Army team, all that. So
Wow.
It's not a bad job in the Army.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
so
then,
you're
like-
a professional athlete.
kind of,
Basically.
yeah.
That's the goal, right?
That is the goal.
That's the goal.
Nice.
That is the goal. And people that are like full time at Knox, they have their jobs in the Army, but they're pretty much on like special orders, I believe, to be on the team. And just that's their job every day, is to show up to the gym at Fort Knox and train CrossFit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's be biased for a second, all right? And we'll talk about be all you can be,
Okay.
right? The Army
Yes.
reintroduced be all you can be.
Yep.
And when we talk about what you're doing, right, you started in athletics as a kid.
Yep.
You wanted to train CrossFit since 15 years old. You competitively did jump rope, and then made the decision, I want to go to the Army
Yep.
so that I can pursue college, right? Get money for college.
Yeah.
Very common reason for people to come into the Army.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, made the right choice by choosing infantry. That's where I'm definitely
sure.
biased. All right, I was in the infantry for 3 years before I went to
Yep.
SF. All right. And you learn a lot in the infantry, right? You learn
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot about yourself.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about being part of a team. You do a lot of hard stuff. Sometimes it should be harder.
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
thought the same thing.
Sometimes you're like, what am I doing here?
But there's some tough days in there that make you a better person.
Oh, yeah.
But then what the Army's allowed you to do is pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
And the Army has said, look, you want to be something else than what you may have come in here to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go forth and do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are in the Army and they absolutely hate it. And I'm like, are you doing anything to get closer to like goals you have outside of that too? And they're like, no. And I'm like, there's so many opportunities. You just have to find it. Like, there's many opportunities in the military. You just need to find it, pretty much.
How do you find them?
Ask people. I don't know, like, I never heard, a lot of people are afraid to ask, and I feel like you just need to ask, like, what is this team? How do I get on that team? What do I need to do to pursue that? And a lot of people see it and they're like, they're not going to take me. There's no point. But
Always
just
ask.
leaves more room for other people, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta find opportunity. Ask about it. Look, I
Yeah.
had an opportunity. I lived in Germany.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Mira's from Frankfurt. I lived in Stuttgart for a year. We were talking about that yesterday, and it was one of the most eye-opening experiences that I ever had. It was awesome because you go to a place that's central in Europe, and you're there for a year, and you're exposed to not only that culture, but all the rest of Europe. And when I was there, it was a great opportunity because I worked in Africa at Special Operations Command Africa. So I spent like 2 weeks a month in Africa. And then the other time I was in Germany, and we were not off, but had less requirements. So I had the weekends off.
Yeah.
No, I was a general's aide. I didn't have the weekends off. But I had a little bit of time to go explore and do things. And you get to go all over Europe, right? In a short drive. And you get to go all over to different places in Germany. And so you get these opportunities. Mira, what do you expect out of the games over the next couple days? Because it's ramping up now. The first couple days, we had Don
Indies.
Fall on a little while ago. Jessie and I sat down with him, CrossFit CEO, and we talked about how it's officially day 3 of the games, but day 1 for the individuals and the teams, and it's really about to just start ramping up. It's on ESPN starting today, so return to ESPN for the games. Really exciting time. What do you expect over the next couple days?
I mean, obviously, because CrossFit is like super massive in the US, and we got one athlete from Germany, so I'd love to see him in the finals. So that would be definitely a cool thing. And in general, just to be amazed by everybody pushing through it and giving their best, and also being motivated, and I don't know, get a lot from the athletes, although you're not competing yourself, right? But you see how hard it is, and that you can do everything if you really want it. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm very excited to see more what's coming.
Definitely.
Ready to jump rope?
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, let's do some jump rope.
Let's go.
Thanks guys for joining us this
Of
week.
course.
So now we're going to put it to the test.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Push beyond your limits. Let's make it happen. American Jedburghs went out to form the foundation of the United States Special Forces and the Special Activities Directorate of the Central Intelligence Agency. Thanks for listening to the Jedburgh Podcast. I'm your creator and host, Fran Racioppi. Join us next week for a new episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on YouTube for full episodes, highlights, and other behind-the-scenes content. If you like what you heard, give us a like and leave a review. Follow me, Fran Racioppi, Jessie, Graff, Talent War Group, and our CrossFit Games sponsors, U.S. Army, Watify, GoRuck, and Hero Coffee on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, or X. Send your comments and inquiries to fran@jedburghpodcast.com. As a former member of Special Forces, the Jedburgh Podcast donates a percentage of all proceeds to the Green Beret Foundation, supporting America's Special Forces and their families. Thanks for joining us on this episode. How you prepare today determines success tomorrow.